Tempe, Arizona is home to Arizona State University, and in 1973, a tragedy occurred on the campus. On Wednesday, April 25th, a 10-man group of parachute jumpers got into a plane to perform a demonstration. The jump was sponsored by the Sun Devil Parachute Club, a campus organization. Each jumper was an Arizona State student. The jump was being performed on campus to attract new members to the club. They planned to jump from the plane wearing smoke-colored flares attached to their boots, then form a circle in the air, joining hands, and break apart, and open their parachutes, and land at an open field in the middle of campus. A crowd had gathered to watch the jump. Students, faculty, family members of the jumpers, and other people who lived in the area. Just after noon, when the plane reached an altitude of 12,500 feet, each parachutist began jumping. Two of those jumpers were Carl Swenson and Adrian Moffett. As spectators watched, all of them jumped and performed their demonstration. And as they began to break the star formation, 4 of them broke away and opened their chutes. One of those 4 was Adrian Moffett. Carl Swenson was next, and as he broke free, he opened his parachute, but as he did this, Moffett's chute was just beginning to open, and the force caused them to slam into each other, knocking both of them out. Both men had collided and were now knocked out with their chutes open, and as people watched, both men went down without control. And as they got closer, it was obvious that both men were unconscious, each drifting away from the target area. The other parachutists landed safely. Carl Swenson would hit a tree and then landed on the ground about a block from the target. This photo was taken moments after. Swenson died within seconds. Photos captured the final moments before Adrian Moffett slammed into a parked car, then hit the pavement. Close to 2,000 people witnessed the tragedy. An ambulance happened to be passing through the campus and stopped to watch the show. A student named Stephen Wright said about Moffett, "I saw he was unconscious, so I ran to grab him and break his fall, but I didn't do a good job. His momentum carried him so that he knocked me down into the car. He hit the car face first." Carl Swenson's roommate, Jeff Bayer, also a jumper, said when he landed, he had heard that Carl and Adrian were dead. He saw Carl's mother there, and she was holding a box full of ribbons she planned to give to the team to commemorate the jump. But she was soon on her way to the hospital to be with her son. He said, "I ran over to the parking lot and saw Adrian. He was lying there with his parachute draped all around him. He was a bloody mess. And someone was trying to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation." An autopsy determined that the 2 died as a result of the impact in the air. Moffett hit Swenson in the chest with his head when they collided. Moffett died of a fracture at the base of the skull and a severed brainstem. Swenson suffered fractured ribs, a broken spine, and contusions of the lungs and liver, and died almost immediately after hitting the ground. Carl Swenson was a junior at ASU and was president of the Sun Devil Sport Parachute Club. He had made more than 300 jumps. Adrian Moffett was a freshman and the secretary of the club. He had made more than 100 jumps, and the previous year they went to Florida and competed in the collegiate parachuting contest. Adrian Moffett was 19 years old when he died. He was survived by his mother and grandparents. He was a graduate of Carl Hayden High School. He is buried at Greenwood Memory Lawn Cemetery in Phoenix. Carl Edwin Swenson was 20 years old at the time of his death. He was a native of Mesa, and his home address was Humboldt, Arizona. He was a National Science Fair winner in Baltimore and a 2-time winner at the Northern Arizona Science Fair. He was survived by his parents, a brother, and his grandparents. He was cremated. The FAA said that it was an unfortunate accident. ASU Vice President Dr. George Ham said that the club had not obtained required authorization for the event from the actual university, but that their priority at the time was thinking not about the policy, but those two fine young people and their families, as he was quoted as saying. Records did show that the club did obtain acknowledgement of the jump from the university security police and the FAA. And that if there was something that they knew that they needed, that they did not get, that they would not have moved forward with the jump. At the time, they thought that they had everything necessary in order to complete it. But Carl Swenson and Adrian Moffat are remembered today and not forgotten.